Gibbs White is coming on for Toffolo and Yates for Sangare, who just wasn't at his best in the first 45 minutes. Face Dominguez, who is coming off for Gibbs White. So Gibbs White will get the opportunity, you would think, to play in the number 10 role. Yates with the captain's armband for the second half. A second half that could be so significant. Short-term future of Nottingham Forest and of some of their personnel as well. So a double change made by Forest at the start of the second half. Gibbs White coming on to replace Dominguez. And Ryan Yates on as well to replace Sangare in the midfield.
Those two certainly need to make an impact, and not sure what Steve Cooper said at half-time. It's not going to be overly positive, let's put it that way, and he needs a reaction from his players.
Tom Cairney just got caught there. There's confirmation of the double change that Forest have made at half-time. Gibbs White and Yates coming off. Well, coming on, should I say. Ryan Yates actually made his return to the team at the weekend. He was recalled after 3 months out of the 11. He urged his teammates to stay positive, but he has bluntly and publicly underlined that there's got to be wholesale improvement in the wake of their recent displays. It hasn't come tonight yet. Yates, the only player featuring tonight who's in the Forest side that last won here just 18 months ago.
A lot of changes, hasn't there, in this Forest side, and so far Steve Cooper has dealt with it, managed to bring them together, get everyone on the same page. Doesn't look like that at the moment.
So by Hudson Odoi, but he's unlucky that his subsequent touch was just a little bit too heavy. Pellegrini with the opportunity to come across and clear. What are your thoughts on the double change made at the break corner?
I certainly think it's needed. Gibbs White in those central areas. As I said, he has that little bit of magic in him at times, and don't mind him on the wing, but I think you want to be more central. You want to be obviously closer to the goal, and he can provide that bit of magic. And I think Yates will just bring a little bit of composure.
Good take by Aina. Decent ball to find it from Yates. But there was no foul. It's the fury of the East Midlanders. Fury that might be compounded in a moment if Fulham can make something happen here. They can't. Well, the other change in the second half is that Origi's likely to have a player from midfield running past him now. We've seen it once already, that Gibbs White's going to be able to get that little bit closer to him. Will give Origi a bit more scope to drop in, almost as a false nine, with Gibbs White coming forward in the central area as he does there.
Yeah, he tried, didn't he? Didn't quite come off, but I think that was one of the biggest things in the first half for me. Origi looked very isolated, and then if you're going to play like that, then the balls into him need to be spot on, which they weren't at times. He made the best of a few of them, so it's always a lot easier playing as a centre forward when you can get numbers up with you and link up.
So far, so good. And as far as Marco's concerned, they've alternated between a win and a loss here at the Cottage this season. They beat Wolves in the last match here. You've got to go back, way back, to the start of the year for the last time they won successive home games. They'll be hugely disappointed if they can't see the lead through here.
Yeah, they will do, especially on the back of a late loss as well, but a clean sheet as well. It's something that they've got to prioritise. I don't think they've got a clean sheet in 8, Fulham, so they know a clean sheet wins the game at this point.
Felipe slipping as he cleared. Didn't have any material effect on the distance that he got. And he's back on his feet. It's from Jimenez. Gala, the perpetrator of that.
Good centre forward play here, just getting your body in between the ball and the defender. You're almost wanting the foul to come.
Might have wanted the foul to come. He didn't want to be pushed into Ryan Yates. I think that it was that subsequent contact that just hurt the Mexican shoulder. He's okay. It's Kearney that delivers. Castagna in for Bassi. He's still got it. Goes away from goal to find Iwobi. Toffolo clears and Elanga can keep it in. And that'll be a free kick.
Does ever so well, Elanga, doesn't he? He's on his front foot, the little touch pass. Kearney, I think this looks worse as well because he's sort of down the side of the pitch near the advertising hoardings, gets absolutely taken off his feet there.
Yeah, very little runoff, particularly on that side of the ground. Aina. That's Nadoi being forced back all the time by Robinson and all the way back to his goalkeeper. He's picked up that bang to the knee, Vlachodimos, in the Raul Jimenez goal. But able to come back out for the second half. Elanga trying to get the beating of Castagna for pace. It was a very narrow corridor down the touchline that he was trying to work with.
Castagna's clever there. He knows that he's not probably going to match Elanga pace for pace, but he can use that touchline almost as another defender, so he gets his positioning good there, Castagna, just to shepherd Elanga out.
And appreciating Jimenez's efforts. Mangala hit Polinia. Iwobi, just too high for Raul Jimenez. Only just.
It's a shame, isn't it? He does really well, stands the defender up, moves it quickly, and it's a whip ball in.
Tosin able to come forward here. It's the Belgian Timothy Castagna for Fulham. Pereira, Iwobi. Third man run from Polinia. Return ball wasn't forthcoming, the idea was right. Gibbs White trying to bring it away. Fulham win it back again, very ably. Kearney at the heart of everything in their midfield. Here's Willian. Easy for Aina to turn back in dismay. He's trying to get the whip on it. Get enough to curl it back inside Vlachodimos' far post.
It's the right idea though, and the crowd were shouting for Willian to shoot. He decides to pass it to a teammate. You see what Jimenez is trying to do there? He's just trying to use the defender as a bit of a wall, bend it round the goalkeeper. Just doesn't curl back in quick enough.
They've scored 18 goals this season now, Fulham, in the league. Only 3 of them from strikers. 1 from Vinicius is on the bench, 2 now from Jimenez. And when you think that Mitrovic had 9 at this stage of last season, it's easy to see how much he's been missed. Here's Jimenez again! Brilliant! He's back! And back with a bang. This is a night that might launch his Fulham career. But what will it do for Steve Coopers at Nottingham Forest? 3-0 to Fulham. Forest are being blown away. This is going to be a 4th defeat in a row, and it could have big implications.
I think you can see by his reaction and the reaction of Jimenez's teammates there what it means, and You're right, Jim. Things can change in football so quickly, just maybe innocuous moments. It's a good ball in, the chest control is excellent. There's a bit of fortune in there, but actually it's strength to push off Aina, and then having the confidence not to turn and side foot it in. But you know what? I'm going to back heel it. Absolutely beautiful, and that is a player full of confidence.
Exquisitely cheeky. And just having a look to make sure that the control from Jimenez was legitimate. Hit his shoulder and not his upper arm, he's going to be fine. Well, that's magnificent.
I don't know why Aina there's asking for the foul. It's just good strength. You've got to be stronger in that position. That's what you want from your centre forward as well. You're speaking about Mitrovic and how he used to bully defenders, and Jimenez does it in his own way there.
It is the first time that Fulham have scored 3 goals in 3 successive top-flight games since 1966. Had a 3-2 win and a 4-3 defeat in that run. They're hungry for more here. And the way things are going, you couldn't bet against them. 35 minutes for Forest to endure here.
So many positives around the pitch for Fulham. Kearney's playing extremely well, finding his range of passing. Iwobi's up and down that right-hand side. Robinson on the left.
There's another brilliant back heel flick there as well from Pereira. Well, Chris Wood is going to be coming on.
Interesting, will it be like for like, or are you going to put 2 forwards up there and really go for it?
Here's Kearney. Willian. Robinson. Willian. There's a swagger about Fulham's game. The pass is being played at close quarters with, by and large, a good degree of accuracy. Forest chasing shadows.
You can hear the fans as well, the cheers every time a successful pass lands to a Fulham player.
So Chris Wood's coming on, and Danilo is going to be coming on as well. Be another double change. They've made one at half-time. Has gone against Felipe. He might be called over, but once we use this opportunity to make the change. Well, he had a lively ski. He is very short of match practice. No surprise that Chris Wood has come on to replace him for the final half hour or so. That was probably a premeditated change when the initial team was named. Danilo on as well to replace Hudson-Odoi.
It's one of those, normally in football, the standard 60 minutes is when you're struggling, trying to get minutes into yourself, that you don't normally get a lot more than that. But I think he started brightly.
Just so much space for Fulham in this kind of area. They've completely dominated the midfield. Robinson for Willian. Robinson is quick and quick enough to get there. He's pulled it back as well. They're able to stab it clear.
Extremely well, Robinson. Wasn't sure he was going to get to that, but the little touch with his right foot takes it away and gives him the opportunity to get half a yard, to get the ball in with his favoured left foot.
Well, even more of the ball for Fulham at the start of the second half to what they had in the first. Domination, if anything, is increasing. It has done as a result of the changes that have been made by Forest.
I think it took Fulham a little while to get going in the first half, but have really come out with a lot of energy in the second half, trying to put the game to bed and getting that early goal. It just then gives them the chance to relax a little bit.
That's Murillo's poor clearance that has gifted possession back this time. Iwobi, Kearney, Palhinha, Jimenez and Pereira. Iwobi again, another great turn. Oh, they're just playing around Forest with ease. Willian coming in at the back post here. Robinson taking over. Flashing in across to Felipe's got time to take a touch.
Big looping ball in and going to give Aina the benefit of the doubt. Not sure whether it was a bit unsighted with the floodlights, but didn't really have a clue where the ball was. He certainly didn't know where Willian was.
Foul on Kearney, referees played the advantage. Willian. Fulham in a happy position with an hour goal and a 3-goal lead that they can think about battles that lie ahead. They've got West Ham coming here at the weekend, and they're going to be able to rotate the pack now just to ease the workload of some of the big hitters. Willian's going to be coming off in a moment.
Yeah, it's so important that at this time of the year, the physical outputs that the players have to go through in quick succession is incredible. So the fact that Marco Silva's now got the opportunity to shuffle the pack a little bit, he'll be very grateful for.
Wasn't able to bring it forward. He was looking for Pereira. It ended up at the feet of Iwobi. Stanya easily able to guard it back for Bernd Leno. Still hasn't had a shot on target to save.
Almost looks like a training game this from Fulham. Just quite happy to keep the ball. There's little flicks and tricks in the build-up as well. Full of confidence, the players, and Forest aren't laying a glove on them.
Palhinha sending it wide. Pereira for Kearney. Willian can't keep it in, he'll be coming off. And he can. It's out of play for a Fulham throw. And it will enable them to make the change. Harry Wilson's going to be coming on, and he'll replace Willian. And tonight has become the first Brazilian to reach 300 Premier League appearances, a milestone he might have got to with Forest. He talks with them over the summer, only to sign a new deal with Fulham. He's a firm favourite here. He's made an impression again tonight. And the two-time Premier League champion comes off to be replaced by Harry Wilson. Also maintaining his record as an ever-present. He's the only Fulham player that has featured in all 18 games this season in all competitions.
Do anything overly spectacular tonight, but was tidy in possession, Willian, and just taking a few high five from his teammates.
It's no problem for Palhinha. That's how it happened. Just given a little shove by Toffolo.
Yeah, you just see the left ankle twist, especially on a cold night as well. Seems to hurt a little bit more. It's probably something he can run off.
To go over the line, out of play for a throw the Forest will take. It's going to be a 6-away defeat in 8 for Forest this season, unless there's an extraordinary fight back. One at Chelsea. The only other point they picked up was at Palace. That away form has actually been a real problem for them ever since they won promotion. It's only one win in 18 after tonight, stretching back to January.
It's going to need a complete departure from anything we've seen from Forest in this first 65 minutes. I don't see where the goals come from. I don't see patterns of play. It's got to be something spectacular, individual brilliance, I would imagine.
Gibbs White. On Harry Wilson. And a quick venture into Fulham territory has just as quickly come to nothing as far as Forest are concerned. I mentioned earlier, they've lost 3 games coming into this. They've lost them all by a single goal. This easily the worst performance of the recent past, a chastening defeat. And it does feel as though at the moment they're going backwards. I think it's not just the scoreline, it's the manner of the performance from the half-hour mark onwards that's going to be a massive concern for everybody associated with Forest tonight.
Yeah, and I think that's what struck me, the Everton game as well. Yes, it was a closer scoreline, but never really looked overly dangerous. The manner of the body language and the lack of urgency, that has continued into today's game, and they've come up against a very good Fulham side. And I'm just watching this, it feels like a match day -1, where you're told as the defending team almost to just sit off, be passive, and that's what it looks like Forest are doing, and just allowing Fulham to keep playing passes and play round them.
The song from the Forest fans in a self-deprecating manner is "We've got the ball." I think explains just how much it has unravelled for them here tonight in West London.
It certainly tells its own story, doesn't it?
Danilo. Back in the matchday squad tonight after missing the weekend because of illness. Well, he did score in 3 successive games near the end of last season. Hasn't featured as much as he would have liked over the course of this season so far. Ball from Felipe. Mangala does well, squeezes it through for Ola Aina. Aina's ball in, and Wood making a sharp run across the near post. Had too much to do.
The angle was always against Chris Wood there. He's passed the near post, so to be able to try and direct that with the ball coming in at so much pace was always going to be a massive ask.
Got a couple of goals against Luton. He scored the winner against Sheffield United as well. That was Forest's first attempt of this second half, only their 3rd of the game, and just to reiterate the point, they still haven't had one on target yet.
Again, that tells its own problem. You've got to be putting yourself in the position where you're shooting frequently, getting shots on target to be able to score goals, and Forest just don't look like scoring at all. I think as well, you normally look to set pieces